it was an outstanding team win. Very, very happy with our guys. Not just for the win, but from the we had a lot of upset guys Friday night after Minneapolis, after Minnesota. We took that loss, so very, very happy with the way they responded. They took the message to heart, and they went out there and they wrestled hard and they did what they had to do and scored a lot of bonus points. And that's something we've been emphasizing tonight. But up and down the lineup, very, very proud of how they responded.
Speaking of bonus points, right off the top, you had 2 pins out of Eric Barnett and Cole Martin, and. What can you say? Like Eric's match is pretty tight, and then took control in the third period.
Yeah, he's going to be special. I keep saying that. We had a little bump in the road Friday night, but he's a true freshman. He's getting a ton of experience. He's going to be awesome. But for him to go out there, he's going to be firing up that crowd for the next 3 years like he's doing.
In Cole Martin's match, he's faced the same Colin Purrington last year, and Cole seemed pretty fired up and ready to go. In this match.
He sure did. That's Cole. Cole is our steady Eddie, you know what I mean? And last year hurt. Purrington beat him at the very end last year. They were rolling around, and he had that in the back of his mind. But Cole went out there, and he went after it and got it done. And, bonus points are huge for us. And, when he's out there chasing stuff like he did and wrestling confident, he wrestled with a lot of confidence today. I saw it in the warm-up. His warm-up was way better than last week or Friday night. And I saw it in his eyes, and I knew it was going to be a special night.
Just got a chance to talk with Tristan Moran and Evan Wick. What can you say about their performance? They both started out, gave up the first takedown, but came back with a big win.
I think they're both wrestling with a lot of confidence right now, and in our sport, that's huge. And I think you get that a lot in our wrestling room. They're buying into everything we're doing. Tristan and even Evan, man. Evan is unbelievable steady. Tristan had a little up and down last year, but you got to remember that guy was a transfer and his weight was a problem. But both guys right now are wrestling with a ton of confidence. Both guys love wrestling at home, and they're doing a heck of a job. I think they both really think they're going to win every single time they step out there, and that's so important. They know, when they lose, it's a surprise to them. They don't think that anybody in the country should beat them. So down by a point, down by 10 points, they're wrestling, and I got a lot of confidence in those guys, and they're doing a heck of a job.
All right. Seth Gross obviously is extremely steady out there as well. Went up against an opponent today. It just seemed he ended up in some positions, odd positions, where the guy he just had to watch himself a little bit. But I think Seth adjusted. What can you say about?
Yeah, that's Gross, right? If you've watched him over the last 5 years, if he doesn't end up in a weird position, that's not Seth Gross. Yeah. So he likes the weird positions, He gets in them in practice all the time, so he's well schooled in those weird positions. It's better when guys actually try to beat him. You know what I mean? And he's a defending national champ. He's dominant. People are going out there to just not get majored, pinned, and teched in a dual meet. So however they want to wrestle him, he's again, he came away with bonus points, and that's going to be very important come March.
At 184, Johnny Sebastian did not wrestle. Was that just part of the
plan? Again, it hurts to not put Johnny in there, but we got to stay true to what we talked about. Johnny, again, he's had a lot of surgeries in his day. We need a healthy Johnny in March, and it hurts not to put him out there. But, again, we came up with a plan, and we've got to stick with it and make sure that, come March, the Big Ten tournament, he's healthy enough. Because as you can see, Johnny's going to be in every single match. Johnny's going to he has a chance to do some special things. But, we're going to take it slow, and it hurts not putting him out there. Tyler Dow weighed in at 174 and had to go out there and wrestle an animal at 84. And, again, these guys will do anything for the team. That's what's so great about being there and showing up every day with them is they're all team players. If we would have asked, Josh Otto, who's a 57-pounder, to go out there and wrestle 97, he would have done it because these guys are brothers. They're a very, very tight-knit team and, excited. What else I'm excited about, too, is that crowd. I don't know what the numbers were, but they were loud. They influenced the referee. We're turning this place into a very, very tough place to wrestle. So the crowd that came, the high schools that came, the youth clubs that came, it's a snowy day yesterday. I can't thank you enough. Friday night, Ohio State, we need to double that crowd, and we need to make this place, the toughest place in the country to wrestle.
I'll say just the start of the match, 4 straight wins, and a couple of those were considered toss-ups at the beginning, and I don't know if anyone does a casual observer would have thought it'd been 19-0 at that point.
Well, I'll tell you what, Nebraska, there's a new rule this year about how you start. Nebraska didn't want to start at 25. We had to flip for it. We won the flip, and we're starting at 25 to get our little guy out there and get him rolling. So when they don't want to start at 25 and you win the flip, it was kind of like us last week in Minnesota. I think they did a good job of starting at 74 and getting the momentum running. They won 5 straight matches in a row. I'm telling you right now, the home field advantage is big. Where you start is key. Getting your team off to a hot start, getting the fans involved, getting your kids fired up. Who's wrestling? It's always great to go out there after somebody smashes somebody else. And so when we start getting on that roll like they did, you don't want to be the guy to break that string. You want to be the guy that's keeping, helping your team out. So happy where we started, and again, happy the way the guys responded.
All right, so you're saying the new rule is whoever wins the flip can decide
so
the starting weight
if you
class?
don't agree on the coaches on the start weight, you flip a coin. And whoever wins that flip gets to pick where you start the match. And we won the flip tonight. We lost the flip last week, but it wasn't us. We wanted to start at 25 Friday night. It was the other 2 teams that asked to flip the coin.
Jared's match, was there any explanation from the ref in the first period on? There were a couple situations. They had the video review, but before that they called the.
Yeah, it was a headbutt, I guess.
Roughness.
I guess I said it was a headbutt. It is what it is, I guess he led with his head, and it was unintentional, but it could be viewed as intentional. So it is what it is. You got to respond. Craddy did a great job fighting. Their 74, 84, 97 are animals, right? They've got some good kids. Their 57-pounder is a great kid. They've got some kids. I mean, up and down their lineup, we just beat a very, very good team. Right, we had some falls into that, but Nebraska from 25 to heavyweight, they're a very, very, very good team. They're undefeated. They won the Las Vegas invite this year already. They are a very, very good team, and what we just did was a great performance. We beat some very, very good guys.
Yeah, 6 out of 10 wins against the second-ranked team is pretty impressive.
Yeah, and an upset really at 25 is an upset. 41 was an upset. 65 was an upset on paper. You know what I mean? And then we won the ones we were supposed to, and they won the one, so we had two big-time upsets in that dual meet, and that's really what won the match for us.
Across the board, it does seem like the team is starting to have a real energy about if something doesn't go right away, they go after it. If something does go right, they capitalize on it. What's driving the team? That's our
motto. We show up every day to work with the unbelievable amount of energy. Right? Some days are terrible. Some days we don't feel good as coaches, but we show up every day and instill that in our guys. I don't care how you feel. I don't care who you're wrestling. I don't care if practice is hard. If you go in there with a lot of hustle, effort, attitude, and your passion, right? If you really want to be here, you want to be a national champ, you're passionate about it, you will show up with an unbelievable, relentless amount of energy, and that energy will take you through anything in life. So good, win, lose, bad, whatever it is, show up with an unbelievable amount of passion and energy every single day, and that's going to transpire over into when you compete.
I think Seth alluded to that in his interview on Friday after his match, that you may not always feel at your peak each match, but that doesn't mean your opponent knows that. And he said you just got to be going after it.
Listen, nobody ever promised you'll feel your best at the most important time. Right, so you still have to learn how to win when you got a little bum knee, or you got a little, little flu bug, or you're in the semifinals of the national tournament and you're beat up. You've got to be able to figure out how to feel good when you're not feeling good. And right now, our guys did that tonight. Friday night, we didn't do that. So it was a great learning experience Friday night. I don't ever want to go through it again. I want to wrestle like this every time.
One thing I would say about Friday night, while you started out slow in the meet, you really came back like gangbusters in the second half of that duel.
Yeah, like I said, our guys are believers, right? But we ran into the guys that have been around a little bit, right? You ran into Gross and Tristan and Evan. We've got to get our young guys wrestling well. We've got to get better. You know what I mean? 57, 74, 84, 97. We've got to get better if we want to go on a run here in the rest of the Big Ten season and into March.
Didn't mention Trent, but this Lance from Nebraska apparently is ahead of Jennings on the depth chart for them and has been doing very well. Seems like Trent has most of the guys seem like they're built like big linebackers and all muscle at that weight. And what can you say about the big guy?
Trent knows how to wrestle. right? Some of these guys are big and strong and they're athletic, but Trent knows how to wrestle. That's what's separating Trent right now is his IQ. He's got a wrestling IQ like no other. Plus, he's a heck of an athlete, and he trains hard, and he's able to ride people. You put those things together, and you're very, very dangerous. I'm so proud of Trent. You have no idea. You know, every week, we were up by 4 points going out there, right? The match is still on his shoulders. He's got to deal with that every match. And you know, we're not praising Trent about winning the duel this time, right? Like we always do. But that guy went out there and wrestled a smart, strategic match, and found a way to get a 4-1 win. That's a big time win against a great kid.
Yeah. So, what can you say moving forward? Ohio State.
Hey, we need a crowd. We need a crowd. They've got number 1 ranked wrestler. They're very, very good. We need a crowd out there. We need to perform way better than we did tonight if we are thinking about winning that duel. But I can promise you our guys are going to show up with energy and passion, and we're going to go out there and scrap as hard as we possibly can, and we need this crowd to get involved.
All right. Well, great.
Good.
Sounds good, Coach.
All right. I appreciate it. Thank you.
What can you say about Evan getting his 100th win as a Badger?
It's a lot of wins. It's a lot of wins at the Division I level. You know, it's what is he, a junior too? That guy's gonna have a lot of wins before he leaves here. Again, proud of Evan, man. Evan is unbelievable. You know, Evan shows up day in and day out, and he keeps showing up and showing up and showing up. And we're gonna get over the hump here at the national tournament with him, hopefully. And we got to get that guy into the finals of the national tournament and get him that national championship. But he does an unbelievable job. Shows up, works his tail off, deserves every single one of those wins and everyone to come after that.